Yo, I'm going to do a quick video on BNGO because I've been seeing in a lot of stock pages I'm on people talking about it. You know, I know that those pages really like to buy tops on these patterns or tops on these stocks, and they suggest everyone to get in on them while they pump up to $10, $15, blah, 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 blah. So I just want to throw in some advice to anyone that watches my channel in case you're in on this or are buying this, just so that you're not buying tops. And if you are buying tops, at least you know potential areas to take profits and potential areas to set stop losses so you don't end up trapped at the top if you did buy it. So, you know, to start off, we're going to do the same thing we've been doing and check on the, this is on a 4-hourly actually, but you know, I just want to show where we were getting wicked out throughout these 4-hour candles here, and it looks like we were getting wicked around like 382 area, and right now at the close or after hours, it looks like it closed like around $4 or ended up around $4, which is potentially on top of this resistance line. Now, if we fall down below 392, then you're going to be coming down to the next support line, which is where the resistance of these other two wicks have been. Probably around 352. So we're going to want to look for potential buy zones around there. I'm going to break this down a little bit more, but it's a short video, so just bear with me here. But if we go off of these wicks, these candles and these candles, we're giving ourselves a pretty big area, but an area of potential supports and resistances. So as you see, we've been following this trend line as one of the primary lines, or maybe it'll be a secondary line. The primary line is the very bottom one. This will be the secondary line. And we've been following this to a T, so you definitely want to look at this area for a big support area. So don't be afraid if it does come down here. And if you wanted to buy it, you could potentially buy it at 258. If we want to really break this thing down, we would look for some support on the hourly. This would be a little more short-term action. If you bought at $4 at the close and we're all hyped up that it's going up to $6 or something like that, then you know like how you can keep yourself from getting wrecked. So let's see here. If we take this trend line, and I'm going to go by these right here on the hourly. These are the hourly candles. So, you know, it's very possible it wicks through here, and I wouldn't doubt that it didn't. But if you want to set a stop loss, if you're in on this thing, then you could set a tight stop loss by using the hourly time frame. If you want to set a better one, then you could go by this. But it does look like we're in some type of, it could be a flag, but it's a little bit rising, so that's kind of concerning to me. You know, your resistance up here is around the $4 range actually, which is right around where we closed out or ended up after the close. And then, you know, obviously this is a rising support line here, a resistance line. So, you know, it gets higher and higher as it works its way up. So it could bounce in between here, depending. If it could find support right on this 330 level, you would want to have a stop loss around 323. And if your risk to reward is a little bigger than that, then you can potentially expect it to come all the way back down into this support. So it's 323 is your first stop loss, and you could enter at 297, 295 probably, maybe even 291. Your support would be at 291. I mean, your stop loss would be at 291. You could enter around 295, 297. So keep an eye on these levels. You know, this is just a quick TA video, just showing you guys what's going on here. So we do want to be careful because we might have some bearish divergence, but this is on the hourly, so a lot can still happen. It can get a nice pump that would break this potential bearish divergence anyway. But as of right now, it's showing on the RSI that our price action is way lower than it was on the left, and I mean, I guess it's pretty much even with where the price was, where it closed with the candle. So I don't think it's too concerning just yet as far as that. So, but it could end up being bearish divergence. You just have to watch and see if the price action comes up to like 415 or up in this 466 area, and I'll show you why 466 is my target for this thing to get rejected at. Then you'll see what's going on and why. So on the daily, if you look at the RSI, most of the time and in most cases, stocks find their peaks when you look at daily and weekly RSI up in the $90 range. And I'll show you where we're at, because we're way up here. Now, I would have expected most likely for RSI to get rejected where it did in the past, but it obviously broke out higher, which is, a good thing. It shows it's very good strength, but we're in 97 area. So we are in the overbought area potentially, and the, healthy range is around 70. So if we do get a pullback to the 70 range, that would be probably maybe around the 253, maybe the 330 level, you just got to set your stop losses, because these things that run up like this can actually be scary. You have your massive buy, your massive volume candle there. So let's kind of take a look on this weekly and see if we can figure anything out. So as you look on the weekly, we were in a falling wedge, and if we connect all these wicks here, or the first two wicks, and run it straight down like normal, and then same with the support zone, we'll grab from this wick, pull it all the way down here, and see what's going on. Just make this thing perfect here. Not that it's really a big deal, but it's just going to show us. So as you see, we had that first wick that we came out of that, which was a nice breakout of this falling wedge, and it instantly got basically sold off and came back down, and it still found support on that pattern, and it hasn't broke below since, which is a good thing. But where we got resistance at was right up here around this 476, 466 level. So if it could get above that, then you would be looking at higher targets for sure. But as of right now, I would expect resistance there. Most people would be selling there. And if you wanted to find out more target supports, you could take fib extensions, or you could base off of the wicks in the past and draw straight lines across as well. So that would be another, right here is a one wick that came up at 628, and then another one 689, then another one. So that's kind of how you would figure out where you could potentially take some profits off the table occasionally if it does actually decide to run that high. I don't think it will yet, but if it does, more power to you. I won't be in this thing. I'm not getting in it, but I don't buy big green candles personally. I know a lot of people on these pages bought around $4, so I showed you your potential of stop losses. We can go by some fib retracements real quick. So you see the 0.618 is at 394, so that was kind of one of our stop loss areas actually, which was 393, 391. 391 is probably a good idea in case it wicks below that 394 if you bought in around $4. And then, your 0.786 is around 250, which we had a target around 253. So, actually worked out pretty well with that. Those are pretty good ranges to be a buyer